Hey everybody, this is Mrs. Rutledge, and we're going to do something really fun today. But before we get started, if you want to participate in this special science activity, you need a couple of things at home, and I'm going to show you what that is. Let me flip this around. So, if you're going to do this activity, you're going to need some sesame seeds. You can get plain or the roasted and salted kind because you will be eating them. So you need carrots, you need celery, you need broccoli, and some type of lettuce. You can use spinach or regular lettuce, whatever you have available at your house. Okay? So that's part of what we're going to be doing today. Now, to find my stuff. So I'm going to show you now. If you didn't get this paper, here's what we're going to be doing. Some of you, if you're in my classroom, you might have already made this with your mom or dad. It says, "I can eat a whole plant." And if you didn't make that yet, that's okay. We're going to make it right now. So if you have a piece of paper available, we're going to make this. And I'm going to make it with you. All right, so if you have that piece of paper, the first thing we're going to start with is just a big circle on your paper, just like that. And then on the inside of that circle, we're going to make a smaller circle so it kind of looks like a bagel or a donut. And then you're going to draw 2 lines coming down, and at the bottom of that you're going to draw a big line going across like that, and we're going to make a box, like a big rectangle like that, and then you're going to draw one on one side, just a little rounded shape, and another little leaf shape. And that's pretty much it. So, draw that on a piece of paper. If you can do that. And then, while you're finishing up that drawing, oh, Mrs. Rutledge is too old. We're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing. Now, one of the other videos that I posted on my YouTube site, Super Busy Teacher, or if you're doing our Kinder website for school, if you're a Northmont student and you're following on our Kinder website, you might have seen the video I did with this book, The Vegetables We Grow. And I read that story. Before you do this activity, if you haven't read this story, you might want to read this first because it kind of goes with what we're about to do. Okay? It's not necessary, but you might want to. All right? So, we're going to take our paper. If you have drawn your drawing, we're going to take that paper, and if you have your the supplies you need, if you have your broccoli and whatever all ready to go. So here's what we're going to do. So we've got our plant paper that hopefully you've drawn. Hopefully you made your circle big enough because we've got to put some stuff inside it. So here's what we're going to do. Now, in that story of the vegetables we grow, one of the things we learned was that vegetables grow in different ways, and when we grow those vegetables, the part of that vegetable that we actually eat is a part of a plant, and we may not really realize that when we're eating something. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. So first, we are going to start with our broccoli. And if you read that story with me or watched me read that story, it talked about broccoli and how broccoli grows And broccoli grows in this big head. And if you've ever bought a whole head of broccoli at the grocery store, it's very large and green and very bumpy. And all over the broccoli, the head of the broccoli, are these little nubbins, these little, what they call broccoli flowerets. That's what they're called. And they have a little stem themselves, and then at the top they have this this part, and it's kind of fun to touch. It feels a little bumpy, and it's kind of interesting. Well, when you eat broccoli, and if you are a broccoli eater and a broccoli lover, when you eat broccoli, I don't know if you know this, but you're actually eating the flower part of the broccoli plant. It's the flower part that you're eating. So on your paper, where the big circle is, we are going to put our broccoli. Line up your pieces of broccoli, your little broccoli flowerets. That's what they're called, because they're actually the flower part of a plant, of the broccoli plant. And that's what you're eating. So you can line up and put your little broccoli flowerets around that flower part of your drawing. And then the inside part of a flower, of any kind of flower, is where the seeds are going to be hidden inside a little pocket. Or if you remember, like when you eat an apple, the seeds are inside the core of the apple. And if you look at a flower and you look at it really closely, where the pollen is in the middle of that flower, underneath the stamens where the pollen are, underneath there's a little tiny, like a pouch or a little bubble, where little tiny seeds are hiding, and you can't really see them unless you take the flower completely apart. So you're just going to have to trust me on it. So the seed part is actually going to be, yes, our sunflower seeds. So sunflower seeds, if you have ever eaten them before, you know sunflower seeds come from the sunflower, right? And what happens is, as a giant sunflower grows all summer long, the big kind of dark brown or big black part of the inside of the sunflower with the yellow petals around the outside, that part becomes these sunflower seeds. And before they are out of the shell, they're inside a black or brown striped shell. But when you open those sunflower seeds on the inside, when you open up the shell part, you have the little sunflower seeds on the inside. And if you roast them and salt them, or buy them that way at the store, like Mrs. Rutledge did, they're fun to eat. And we can sprinkle them on salads. We can just eat them. I know when my son plays baseball, a lot of the baseball players eat sunflower seeds. They like to suck on them, but they like to eat the ones that have the shells on them, which I don't do because my dentist would not be happy with me. I'd probably break a tooth. But when you're young, you can do those things. So we're going to put our sunflower seeds in the middle part of our flower to remind us that that's where the seeds are. And then the next part, we have leaves, we have the stem part of our flower, and we have the roots. So let's see, which part is the stem? Let's see, which food do we have here you think might be the stem? Let's see. Oh, there it is. If you thought it would be the celery, you are right. So you're going to take a piece of your celery. They're about in 3-inch pieces or so. Take a piece of your celery, and you can stick it right there. And if it's a little big, that's okay. It's not a big deal. The celery, when you eat celery, if you are a celery lover, and some people really love celery and some people don't. Some people can take it or leave it. I like celery chopped up in my tuna salad and chicken salad, and I like to chop it up and put it in soups. But sometimes celery is fun to eat just by itself with maybe a little peanut butter on it or something. But if you like celery, when you eat celery, celery is actually the stem part of the celery plant. Yeah, it is. It's very cool. When you look at celery, and maybe you can look at the ends of yours, you might see, and it's hard to see here because maybe I'll do this side. It's a little hard to see, but when you turn your celery over, if you can find a spot where you've just cut the end of the celery, you might see little dots going around the outside. And those little dots are like little tiny veins. And that's where the celery stem sucks up the water and moisture and nutrients from the soil to help send those water and nutrients and soil to the flower so the flower can grow and the seeds can grow on the inside. So you might see that in your celery. If you look really closely, you can see little dots in there. All right, so there's part of our plant. So we have our broccoli, which is our flower. We have our sunflower seeds, which are our seeds. We have our celery, which is our stem. We have leaves and roots left. So let's see, which is going to be a leaf? Oh, yeah, a leaf. There's a leaf right there. Now this is a spinach leaf. You can use lettuce leaves too. If you have lettuce and you're using lettuce, that's fine too. So spinach, when you eat spinach or you eat lettuce, you're eating the leaf part of the plant. So if you grew spinach and you picked the leaves, the leaf is the part that you want to eat of the spinach plant, or the leaf part of the lettuce plant that you're growing. You eat the leaves of that plant. So there's our plant so far. It's looking pretty good. And then the last part we have down here is the roots. The only one we haven't used, that's right, is our carrots. Carrots, when you eat carrots, carrots are actually the root of the carrot plant. The green part, the shoots of the carrot, the green part that grows out of the end of the carrot and sticks out of the ground, and then the carrot is actually the root. And it's below the ground. It's in the ground when it's growing, because roots are in the ground, right? So roots come out of the bottom part, and the root's job is to soak up all the moisture and the nutrients and send it up through the stem, out to the leaves, and up to the flower so that your beautiful plant can grow, whether it's a fruit type of plant or whether it's a vegetable type of plant, or whether it's a regular flower. So yeah, so now we have a whole plant that we can eat. I wonder which part I'm going to try first. Let's see. I think I'm going to try the broccoli. I'm going to try one of my flowers. Are you going to try it with me? Yeah? Some of you might be going, oh, that's okay. Just give it a little nibble. If you don't like it, it's okay. You might want to get some ranch dressing and you can dip it in that. That makes it pretty good. All right, but I actually like broccoli. I didn't like broccoli when I was a kid. Oh, I'll admit that, but I grew to like it. I started eating it dipped in different things, so that always helps. But I love broccoli. The way I love broccoli now is I like to roast it in the oven. And I drizzle some olive oil on it and some salt and pepper and stick it in the oven and roast it. It's really good. You wouldn't think that sounds very good, but it is. It's really good. But yeah, let's try some broccoli. Crunchy. Super crunchy. Can you hear it? Yeah, really crunchy. I love broccoli. something similar to broccoli is cauliflower. They're both part of the same family. My dad was such a huge cauliflower lover. He would literally eat a whole head of cauliflower. Like the whole thing. Just chop it up, slice it up. I don't know that I do that, but he loved cauliflower. All right, so we've eaten part of the flower, part of our plant. Next, what are we going to pick next? Let's see. Well, let's try the seeds. They're there, right? I already know what these taste like. Okay, got some sunflower seeds. I got the roasted ones with the salt. Nutty, crunchy. Yeah, pretty tasty. Nice little snack and not, kind of healthy for you. Yeah, it's all very healthy. Broccoli is good for you because it has it has folic acid, which I think is good. And then broccoli, I think, has a lot of vitamin A, which is really good for eyesight. So there you go. Little tip from Mrs. Rutledge. All right, next part of the plant. Let's see. Let's try our celery. Let's give it a shot. I love celery. Yeah, sprinkle some seasoning on there. A lot of kids like, my kids like that tahini seasoning. They sprinkle that on their veggies sometimes. Give it a little spice or a little salty flavor. Oh yeah, good crunch. Probably good for your teeth too. Oh yeah, celery. Celery's good. Celery's a healthy snack. And you can also dip it in peanut butter. Get a little thing of peanut butter and dip your celery in there. That's pretty good. Not a big flavor. It's not like a strong flavor, but good. Really good. Okay. Don't you love watching me eat? Okay. Next, let's see. We've got, now I got celery in my teeth. Okay. So next we have, let's try a leaf. So I've got spinach leaves. You may have lettuce leaves. Let's see. I like spinach. I like spinach salads. I like spinach. Sometimes I make sandwiches or burgers, and instead of lettuce, I put spinach on it. Pretty good. How else do I eat spinach? My mom used to make a spinach salad with this warm bacon, some kind of dressing she'd make with some oil and vinegar and bacon, pieces of bacon. And she'd heat it on the stove, and then she'd drizzle this warm dressing with bacon sauce over the spinach. It was really good. But yeah, the best way I like to eat my spinach is sautéed with a little bit of olive oil and some lemon juice. And yeah, as like a side dish. Spinach is also really good. It's dark and green. And the darker the vegetable, the more healthy it is for you. And so if you're having spinach, it's a nice dark green color. Oh, I also put spinach in a soup that I make. Yeah, an Italian wedding soup thing that I make. It's got spinach in it. Yeah, that's really good. Sometimes spinach can be a little bitter. This isn't bitter. This is baby spinach, so it's really mild. That's a good leaf. I like it. Or maybe you're trying lettuce. All kinds of lettuces. All right, last part. We've got the roots. So grab a carrot. Everybody loves carrots. But just remember, when you're eating a carrot, you're eating the root of the carrot plant. It's a root vegetable. I like my carrots dipped in hummus. I don't have any with me. Ranch dressing is good. My boys like ranch dressing. and now they like hummus. I chop carrots up and I put them in soups. I use carrots in stew when I make beef stew in the crock pot with some meat, potatoes, onions, carrots. Good stuff. Very versatile. I went to my friend's house once for Thanksgiving, and she had some kind of carrots. They were baby carrots, and she had cooked them, and then she drizzled them with like butter and maple syrup. That was good. I'd never eaten really cooked carrots like that. It was good stuff. So there we go. So what do? We ate a plant. How about that? That's the coolest thing ever. If you tried some things that you hadn't tried before, good for you. Give yourself a pat on the back. Don't be scared to try things. You can nibble a little piece. If you don't like it, that's okay, but at least try it. You won't know till you try it. But good for you. So much fun today. Getting to make and eat a plant. How cool is that? Bet you didn't know that, huh? All right, so hope you enjoyed this fun little activity. And moms and dads, keep eating. Hopefully you'll finish. Thanks for getting the supplies for us. And I hope you enjoy. Have fun.